ATA Nation, I am super excited to have with us Master Sally Hines. How are you, ma'am?
Doing great, sir. How you doing today?
I am great. For those of you who might not know Master Hines, probably what you recognize her most from is picking people up.
Uh,
On social media, that's the thing. Just lifting people up. How did that become a thing? Real quick.
it actually it started with Senior Master Melanie Berkey a long
Did
time
it
ago.
start with her? Okay.
Yes, yes, and
She's
then
so tiny.
I know, yes. So yeah, after that, it just kind of like I started asking people, and at this point, people just ask me, so we do that.
It just snowballed, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's go back in time before that. You are a master in the ATA. What got you started in martial arts?
Oh my God, I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle back when I was like 7.
Yes. Which one's your favorite?
Leonardo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I, I, I respect your choice. I'm a Donatello guy, but
Okay, okay,
Leonardo's
okay,
a fair one.
okay.
Okay.
He's the techie dude, so I get
Yes.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But no, so my parents put me into a program that was out of the local park district at the time, and it was an ATA. And since then, I've had some ins and outs since with school and stuff, but never fully 100% left. So
Very
it's
cool.
just a matter of time.
And you said in and outs with school and stuff. You had a lot of schooling, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
What kind of schooling have you done?
Well, I'm a doctor of pharmacy, so that was for me. It was three years of undergrad in college, and then 4 years of pharmacy school. So
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah, too much school for me. That's not for me. I'm kicking people. Um, okay, this is a random question. I was listening to some podcasts recently, and they were talking about how we would be better served if we utilized pharmacists more often in things because what in the US we think of as pharmacists are like I count how many pills to put in a bottle and then I do the thing. Where in other countries, I think I was listening to somebody who might have been from uh, England or Australia, somewhere else, and they use their pharmacists as they consult with them, they talk with them, they get
Yes.
information from them.
Yes.
We
So
don't do
that
that. What's the deal?
actually we do that, but you don't necessarily see them.
Okay,
If you were to spend any time on being in the hospital, you would see the pharmacist being a part of the full
the
medical team and
process.
doing consultations and the whole process. Unfortunately, what majority of Americans think of as pharmacy is going to your corner pharmacy to get
Hmm.
your prescriptions, and maybe you ask them some questions every once in a while. But I mean, I spent a whole entire 4 years of pharmacy school learning about drugs, and I can tell you that most medical doctors get one class, one semester about drugs.
See, and that's what this podcast was really talking about. How we go right to doctors to answer every question. And like we would be better served sometimes to alleviate some of the stress on the doctors, to be able to go and talk to pharmacists more. I mean, I know when I go and pick up my medicine, they're always like, "Do you want to talk to the pharmacist?" I'm like, "No, why would I? I don't need to talk to the pharmacist. They gave me my medicine and whatnot." But it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. So you've been in this pharmacy thing. Um, what drew you to pharmacy, to that kind of work?
So I started working in the pharmacy as a technician right out of high school.
Oh,
That was my first kind of real job, and it was part time. And at the time, I kind of thought I wanted to do pharmacy, and ended up that yes, I really did want to do pharmacy. Most of my family's in the healthcare field, so
okay.
it was just kind of a matter of which healthcare field am I going to go into, really.
You knew you were in that field no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
So how has it been, all those years of schooling and still being a martial artist? How do you balance that through the education? Because we've got a lot of students, who listen and watch whatnot that they often are like, oh, I'm going to go to college, and then they're like, done with martial arts. I'm just never doing martial arts again. And we know that you can still do martial arts some,
Yes,
and
yes,
you're a
you can.
master. You even if you were
Yes.
off for a while, you picked it back up. How did you balance that?
Well, there was a lot of periods of time where I would be training a lot, which was usually at the beginning of the school semester, and
Mhm.
then as things got harder, maybe I wasn't going to class. One of the things is that for me, when I was in pharmacy school, it was literally a matter of traffic. I was living downtown, and I think halfway through one of my years, the class times changed by like maybe 30 minutes, and that literally was the difference of me getting to class in 45 minutes or not an hour and a half.
Oh,
So that yeah, that um, things that are outside of my control probably made the most thing. But for me, taekwondo has always been my friends, my family, and so it wasn't a question of ever stopping. It was just a matter of, oh, I'm not going to be there for a couple months and then I'm going back.
and then you'll be back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to realize that you can. It's so hard for people. I think sometimes to get out of they get to college, they're doing some things, and to get back into the habit of coming back to class in the summertime. But you know, you get if you want to set those goals and keep going. And obviously, you do you work in the pharmacy field right now? Are
Yes.
you got a regular full-time job?
Yes, I
And
am a overnight pharmacist actually.
oh, that
Yeah.
ooh, that's
Yeah.
rough. No.
Yes. Well, I work overnight in the pharmacy at night by myself, taking care of people who have been in the ER, all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. And do you so you still actively train? Obviously, you're a master. You make it to
Yes.
class every once in a while. You
I make
what's
it to
that?
class normally twice a week at least. Luckily, Chief Master Barnum still has morning class, and I usually get off work at 8 o'clock in the morning and go straight to class. If I'm I have a schedule where I'm 7 days on, days off for work. So when I'm off work, if I can make it to evening or weekend seminar type stuff, I do.
Hit up a tournament every once in a while. We've seen you at some. When I get over to 102 West, I see you over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And districts and stuff. I
Yeah.
think
Lots of
yeah,
judging.
yeah, all the time. Got to do that. Okay, so you have recently, it seems, started kind of a side venture that kind of ties these two things together.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and then I got some questions about some supplements and stuff.
Okay. So, just about exactly a year ago, I started the Nutra Warrior supplement line. Um, the so throughout the many years of being in pharmacy, I've obviously gotten to learn about the over-the-counter products and specifically, things that you can naturally take and put into your body that change the way that it works or improve the way that it works. Um, and unfortunately, a few years ago, my wife went through chemotherapy, and I got super into learning more about over the counter supplements
Mm,
and things that she could use to alleviate the joint pain she was having from chemotherapy. So after that, I kind of really got into figuring out what I could do to start my own line of supplements because as being a pharmacist, I know that unless things are rigorously tested, it's hard to know what products you can trust, especially over the counter. So I wanted to bring something that I could recommend because I know what's in it.
yeah. No, that's super cool. Okay, so I've got a couple of questions about supplements. Number one, I know I've learned more recently that creatine is just a great thing. Um,
Yes.
really good brain health, all kinds of things with creatine. But I remember when I was growing up, creatine was like, "Oh man, you're gonna take creatine? Is that's bad for you?" It was. I don't remember what the deal was, but it was something. So tell us a little bit about creatine. Who should take it? Who could take it? What's it good for?
So creatine is really actually ideal for, I would call, sprint athletes. Now, martial artists are sprint athletes. We're
Mm,
not out there trying to run a 24-mile marathon. We
not
we
unless you're a
work
burpee.
within, right, to, maybe a span of like, 2 to 5 minutes of of actual, intense energy.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is where creatine is actually perfect and ideal. Now, those of us who are, over 30 kind of remember creatine being kind of a big thing when it first came out as being
Yeah.
for bodybuilders. And or I remember them talking about it way back when like Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were hitting all those home runs and stuff.
Yeah, I
right?
totally remember that.
Yeah, but creatine is not just for building muscle. Creatine gets in it. We're going to go back to biology class for like a second here, okay? It
holding
dumps into what is called the Krebs cycle, which is inside the mitochondria, which powers every cell in your body, okay? So that it helps to increase the energy output of your cells. So if you're increasing your energy output of every cell in your body, you're going to have that little bit more intense energy output when you need it.
I like that. I won't
Yeah.
turn that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about creatine is that it's not one of those things that you can, just take when you're going to class or it's one of those things that has to build up in the body to really get the most benefit. So it is something that should be used on a daily basis if you're going to use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should be taking it every day as
Yes.
just an additional supplement added to my drink or whatever I'm doing that
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. And you can mix it into literally anything. You can pop it in your coffee if you want to.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I've seen that on your site. You guys have creatine. What's
Yes.
let's go outside of creatine. What's maybe the top couple of things that I'm a martial artist, an adult, maybe past my 20s, I'm into my 40s. What should I be looking at supplement wise?
So my top three are creatine, glutamine, and protein.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me about glutamine.
Glutamine is a amino acid, and although it is naturally occurring within your body, within things that you eat, that's actually in smaller amounts. When you take it in larger amounts, it helps the body to recover faster. And so, obviously, if you're working out, if you can recover faster, you're going to be able to hit that next workout harder.
Yes.
We're not going to walk around feeling sore or waking up feeling like you're 80, perhaps. The next thing I always talk about is protein. The majority of Americans do not eat enough protein. And especially if you're an athlete,
Yep.
you need a significant amount of protein. And about a year and a half ago, I took a real hard look at what I was eating every day. And man, it is hard to hit for me because everybody, if you've met me, I'm 6'3". I need at least 200 grams of protein a day, and that's hard to get in.
I've heard a lot recently. I mean, there's a big range, but trying to hit something like a gram per pound of weight, is that something that you recommend around there?
Yes.
Yeah. And that is hard. I mean, you got to be, if you're not doing a protein shake,
right,
you got to be plowing chicken, just like crazy.
Yeah, chicken, steak, just anything.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so
if you're
a protein, big one.
Protein, big one. I really like so my protein is strictly 100% isolate, whey isolate, meaning that it's much more broken down because it takes the lactose out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. There are many more Americans finding out that they are lactose intolerant. So this is one. So the whey isolate actually absorbs better within the system because it's more broken down, and it also mixes up a lot nicer. You don't get that chunkiness.
Chunky, yeah. That's how do you do your protein? Do you do it just in
I make 1,000-calorie protein smoothie every single day.
Ooh, what's in the smoothie?
So smoothie, I do like cup to a cup and a half of frozen fruit.
Okay.
I put some hemp seeds in. I put my double scoop of protein powder into it.
Is it a flavored protein powder?
Vanilla, and within this next week, I'm gonna be adding chocolate.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then some sort of alternative milk that I have on hand, like coconut
Yeah.
oat milk, and just blend it up, and sometimes I'll pop in some MCT oil because that's
Mm-hmm.
really great for the brain and fats too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Cool.
yeah,
The one you mentioned before, I forgot. Not protein, not
glutamine.
glutamine. How is
Yes,
that? Is it a powder? Is it a pill? What's glutamine?
it's a
How do you
powder.
take it? It's a
Yeah,
powder
it's a
as well.
powder. It's a powder just like creatine. I actually pop that in with my pre-workout before I work out in the afternoon before work, and it just mixes up really nice. You don't
So
even.
is that one that you don't like creatine and protein? You basically probably should be taking these every day because you're just
Yes,
always. Is
yes.
the glutamine? Is that something like you
That's
said?
something that I also recommend taking um, every day. Also,
Okay,
you can, if you've had a really hard workout, you can add a little more in, you know.
gotcha.
But most of these things are things that build up within the system and work and help the body work better over time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about you. You're in the Chicago. You get these
Yep.
winters where we've got no sunlight for
Right.
like months and months and months.
Yep.
What
9 months of
about
the year.
what's the supplement we get from the sun? I
Vitamin
hear a lot
D.
of people are
Vitamin
deficient in
D.
that. Is that
Yes, 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 yes. So, unless you are lucky enough, like the Isaac family, to live down in Florida, where there's lots and lots of sun,
yes?
the majority of us do not spend enough time outside in the actual sunlight. If you're not spending 10 minutes a day outside, exposing skin to make vitamin D, you're probably going to be deficient at some point in your life. So I do have a vitamin D3 plus K2 supplement.
Okay.
And what vitamin K does is that it helps vitamin D work more efficiently. It helps. So you need vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. You need calcium for stronger bones. However, vitamin D will sometimes tell calcium to put itself into places like your heart or your
Mm,
arteries.
let's not
And
do
with
that.
vitamin K, it kind of helps to tell vitamin D, hey, let's put it into the bones.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. So it helps. So you want to take those two together if possible. And that's why
Right.
your supplement has them.
As both of
group-
them together.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Um. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, for those people who maybe have a more frail bone bone structure, what they're finding right now is that vitamin K can help vitamin D put the put the calcium into the bone in a way that has potential to re-strengthen those bones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent. So probably especially something to look at. Older generation, people who are
older
really at these
generation,
risks of
women.
breaking bones,
Yes,
falling, those kind of things.
right.
I got to talk to my parents. Don't tell them I
Yes.
said that. Okay, cool. Those are your top three. If you had to put in like a four, like a fourth place, what are you gonna put in your fourth place supplement?
My brain and focus booster.
Ooh,
Yes. So, a lot of us get it, and we see a lot of kids in ATA and even adults who have attention deficit issues.
yes.
Or just over time, our attention span has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter because of technology. Um, or, as you're getting older, if you're prone to dementia within your family or loss of memory, or you're having COVID side effects, this
Mm,
is where my brain and focus booster comes in. Increasing blood flow to the brain, but also it has things in it like bacopa and GABA, and in the mushroom supplement that I like to pair with it, you have lion's mane, and so those things all come together and help the brain work better.
okay, okay, that's a good one. I've looked at some different ones for, I've talked to my parents about it a little bit. They're just you got to keep that brain healthy, and going.
Yes.
And so I might look at that. Okay, so tell people where they can find these things, all your supplements.
All of my supplements are on rx-warrior.com. I also have several social media sites. I think I'm on all the major ones like
Cool.
Facebook and Instagram, and I think I'm on Pinterest and YouTube.
All
So
those cool ones.
yeah,
We'll make sure we put
yeah,
links to everything in the show notes. So if people want to go over there and get stuff, this is coming out in January. Perfect time to just make sure you're dialing in all those. We're working on getting healthier. A lot of times, not just hitting your workouts, but making sure that recovery, the things that you need to build that strength and power and whatnot. So that's awesome. Any last things for ATA Nation out there about maybe your supplements, being healthy, those kind of things?
Well, I mean, first of the year's coming around, and that's when everybody kind of tends to start to relook at
Hmm.
their health and what they're doing. And I'd encourage anybody who has, especially chronic medical issues, to go ahead and reach out to me. I'm happy to answer questions and work with people, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And
Yes.
there's a lot of times that a couple of simple fixes can help really improve the way you feel.
Well, that's just like, hey, we got to use our pharmacist more often. We've got our ATA
Exactly.
pharmacist right here. Reach out. She can help you out. That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today. We're going to be diving in. Everybody's working on getting healthy, and I know I was on the protein, and I kind of gone off the protein. I need to. You know what my big issue is? It's wintertime, and I don't want a smoothie because it's darn cold. And I'm like, I need a coffee. I know they make some coffee ones, but I've heard they're not
You
great.
can pop protein into your coffee and
Ah,
just mix it up.
I'm gonna have to. You said yours mixes really good.
Yeah, it mixes really well. Yeah, talk to Senior Master Seth Berkey about how much he likes it.
Okay, I will definitely. We'll get a testimonial from him. Awesome, great. I really appreciate your time today, ma'am. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.